Once you have your buildings drawn, it's going to be time to start adding details. And I want to show you just a couple of ideas for adding details. You can add names to buildings, windows to buildings, streets, benches, doorways, whatever you want to add. You are going to be using the vanishing points again for this. So what I would do is I would choose the first building that you want to start working on. Also think if you want a theme to your city. Is this going to be like a scary movie city, or is it going to be like some kind of city themed after a band you like, something like that? So I'm going to go ahead and start my doorway first. So I'm going to be going on the side of this building here. So this is the right side of the building. So I am going to use my right vanishing point. I'm going to go ahead and line my ruler up where I think I want the top of the doorway to be. Come over to the building I'm working on and place the top of the doorway. Now, I am going to be using parallel lines for anything that goes straight up and down, so making sure that it's parallel with this one. Don't let your lines tilt or it starts to look funny. Coming over to the other side, it's going to be another parallel line. Okay, so that gives me a little entrance way to my building. I want to make it a little more 3D, so what I'm going to do is I am going to add like a little recessed area. So I'm going to use the left vanishing point because I want to add a little wall here. So using my vanishing point, I'm going to point it all the way across my paper where the side of this little doorway is. And I'm going to place a little line. This is looking at the inside of the wall here. Then I'm going to use this vanishing point, the right vanishing point, to draw the other part of the entranceway. And then from that little corner that it made, I'm going to draw a parallel line. So now it looks like I could walk into that building. And if I want to get even fancier, I could add something. You're thinking about that this wall is hiding part of the doorway. So this left doorway might be a little bit smaller because I'm only seeing part of it. And then if I wanted, I could go in and add like my little doorknobs. And then you're thinking about this like it's your floor, right? And you could write something there if you wanted to, or just leave it blank, but it's to look like you can walk in there. I put a little welcome there, okay? And then this is the side of the wall that you're looking at. All right, so I'm gonna continue working on this building. I'm gonna go ahead and add in some windows. So let me show you a few different styles. One style of window, and you have to use the vanishing point, one style of window would be something like long rectangles. So I'm putting my pencil on my vanishing point and I'm rotating my ruler. And then I'm going to draw a line. Now I'm going to come back to my vanishing point, rotate my ruler down, and add the next line. If you don't do that, then your lines will not work and they won't line up to create the windows in the order they're supposed to go. They have to kind of change the angle as they move down the building so that they line up properly. So I'm just rotating all the way down the building. As I get to that doorway, eventually it's going to kind of lean up or line up with the doorway that I put on down there. And every window needs a top and a bottom, so I'm putting 2 lines for each window that I'm planning on making. Okay, so I have my lines. And then the rest of the lines are going to be parallel. So I'm going to make sure that I'm parallel with this line down the middle. And then I'm just going to go ahead and line it up with the edges of the windows and place in my edges of my windows, not moving my ruler. And if I need to fix anything, I can come back in and kind of connect the two like that. And then I'm going to come to the other end, line my ruler up, and put in the other edges. And some of my lines I went a little longer than I had to. I can easily erase those kind of things, like that. And you could leave them like this, or you could even add in more detail like we did with the doorway down here. So if I wanted to do something like that, I've got to think about what it is that I would be able to see on that window. So I'm going to use the left vanishing point here and rotate it up to the window so I can put in the edge of the windowsill here. So from this corner here, I'm putting in a little line. Whoops, I didn't get quite low enough on that. Sometimes it's hard depending on where it falls on in the comparison to the vanishing points. Let me think about this. How would I be seeing this window? Maybe I just want to add in like the edge of it like this, which would just be parallel to those other vertical lines. Just showing the edge of the window since I'm looking at it straight on, maybe something like that. And up on these ones I might, this would head toward the left vanishing point, and then this would run parallel to this. So I could add in lines like this if I wanted to show that I can see the top of the windowsill. I could do that on some of them. That looks a little better, doesn't it? So again, that was pointing from this corner here across to the vanishing point, putting a little line. Then this is parallel with my other vertical lines, and then parallel with the top of the windowsill. I think I'm going to do the same thing for each of them, making sure to line it up with the vanishing point. Okay, so that's just one style of window. I would like you to do different styles on each of the buildings, at least 3 different styles. I think that one I'm going to just leave like that. Okay, so there's my windows. If you want to add another style, there's some easier ones too. I would add entranceways at least on one side of it so you can actually get into your building. And then you can also add things like names to your buildings as well. So here's another style of window. This one's pretty easy. Again, you do need to use your vanishing points, except the vertical lines will always stay vertical. Just make sure you're going straight up and down and you're not allowing your ruler to get slanted, otherwise your lines will get too close together or they'll start to look a little funny. So just line it up thinking about the other ones you have on there, okay? And then this is the right side of my building, so I'm again using my right vanishing point, and I'm gonna rotate it up to the top of the building. This would be like one of those office style buildings where it's just nothing but glass and then the cross beams where the windows go. So I'm just rotating it. And for this one, I think I'll put my doorway maybe on the other side of the building. And then I want to show you how to add in things like names to your building so that you can really customize your city here. Again, just rotating all the way down, because if you want your windows to line up properly, you need to keep rotating. And remember to draw lightly, because if you make a mistake, you want to be able to erase and not be stuck with a bunch of hard lines in your paper. The thing with this style is since it goes to the edge of the building, if you're going to go on to the other side, you'll use the left vanishing point, and what you want to do is you want to definitely line it up with the window that you already have there so that it wraps around the building. So that's something you want to keep in mind if you do this style. Whoops, I think I let that one drop a little funky. That one's going to look kind of straight across, and then you'll see that that angle will change and it'll start to go down. I keep letting it move. Whoops. And then I would put in my vertical lines. I just did it backwards so you could see what I was talking about with lining those up like this. All right, so there's the building, and then I would put in my vertical lines. All right, so now I'm going to show you what you're going to do to put in some names to your buildings. Okay, so there's that, and I could add my little entranceway in over here somewhere. Maybe this one will have like a little half circle-y thing. There's my little entranceway on that side. All right, if I want to add in a name of a building, I'm going to come over. I'm going to use my vanishing point because I'm going to put it right here. This is a left side of the building. I'm going to use my left vanishing point, and I'm going to angle my ruler at that left side of the building. And I'm going to just draw in a couple little lines to show where I need to put my name of my building in. Okay. So that means that my letters need to kind of be the height, and they need to go along that line, and I shouldn't be like trying to squish them in there. So let's see, what is this going to be? This is going to be, I guess the question is, am I theming mine? Let's see. I'm going to do D, I. See how I'm stretching it to the two lines? So I'm going to do dive, and then I'm just going to get interesting with it here. And I'm going to put in some words that go that way. Okay, and then I can erase the little guidelines that I made because now my word is on there at the correct angle for my dive shop. Okay, and then I could continue to put on my windows, or maybe I'll put a wall mural on the side of this building, right? That shows whatever my building is about. Like maybe I have a little octopus guy here because it's my dive shop. And so there's a mural on the side of this building. I think he's going to be a very happy little octopus. And he's just painted here on the side of my building. There's my little octopus. Okay? All right. So that's how you're going to start to add things. Whatever you try to add, you need to add using the vanishing points. You could do little square windows. You could do circle windows. With the circle windows, you might not need to use the vanishing points as much if it's on the side of it, like something like that. Okay, so just thinking about what you want it to look like and trying to make it really unique and different.